Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking something absolutely transformative, the blueprint for unbreakable self-discipline. If you've ever felt stuck, or if you're just tired of relying on those random bursts of energy that fizzle out after a few days, you are in exactly the right place. Over the next few minutes, we're going to look at how to shift your mindset away from fleeting motivation and towards permanent, ruthless consistency. We're going to build a foundation that completely changes how you operate on a daily basis.
Let's kick things off with a pretty massive question, one that really gets to the heart of human potential. Why do some people achieve incredible success while others just keep making excuses? It's so easy to look at high achievers and think, oh, they're just smarter, or they just got luckier than the rest of us. But actually, the source material reveals something completely different. The dividing line isn't intellect or luck at all. It's one incredibly powerful, totally learnable skill. And, yep, you guessed it, that skill is self-discipline.
This brings us right to the core trap so many of us fall into, the massive difference between motivation and discipline. Listen, motivation is a trap because it's fundamentally temporary. It's completely feelings-based. Some days you wake up ready to conquer the world, and other days, that feeling just completely abandons you. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent and action-based. It's that vital mechanism that keeps you moving forward even when you absolutely do not feel like it.
The reality for high achievers is actually brutally simple. Successful people do not depend on motivation, they depend on discipline. Seriously, think about that for a second. If you only put in the work when you feel inspired or energetic, you're literally never going to reach your full potential. Why? Because the path to success absolutely demands doing what needs to be done on the hard days. The days when you're tired, you're frustrated, and the absolute last thing you want to do is put in the work.
We see this battle play out every single morning in what we can call the excuse cycle. It usually starts with a simple promise, right? I'll wake up early. But then reality hits. Your bed feels like a warm magnetic cloud, so you hit the snooze button. But here's the unseen damage happening behind the scenes. Every single time you break that small promise to yourself, you're actively destroying your own self-trust. And on the flip side, the more you keep those promises, the stronger and more confident you become.
The tricky part is that your mind is literally wired to crave comfort. It wants more sleep, it wants easy entertainment, and man, it is a master at generating endless excuses. So you have to actively pause and ask yourself a pretty uncomfortable question. Do I want temporary comfort or a better future? Asking this acts like a mental circuit breaker. It snaps you right out of that natural drift toward the easiest option in the room.
So here's the crucial takeaway. Discipline isn't some mystical superpower. It's just the very practical act of choosing your long-term goals over what you want right now, in this exact moment. It's about trading that short-term pleasure, like an extra hour of sleep or binge-watching a show, for a better future. Every single difficult choice you make today compounds, and it translates into a significantly easier life tomorrow. You're basically doing your future self a massive favor.
To actually solve this whole motivation problem, the source material gives us a highly actionable framework. We need to establish daily, non-negotiable habits. I'm talking about things you never skip, no matter what. Things like reading 10 pages a day, exercising for just 30 minutes, waking up at the exact same time, or spending an hour learning a new skill. These aren't just random chores. By doing them without fail, they actually begin to shape your very identity. And ultimately, your identity is what dictates your future.
This brings us to a profoundly important realization. Every yes to distraction is a no to your dreams. Wow, that completely reframes how we look at time management, doesn't it? It frames every single choice as a direct trade-off. Time is your greatest treasure, and if you're saying yes to something that doesn't serve you, you are forcefully shutting the door on the life you're trying to build. You absolutely have to learn the profound power of saying no.
So let's look at exactly what we need to start rejecting. Every successful person fiercely protects their focus. You've got to actively say no to endless scrolling on your phone, say no to negative influences that completely drain your mental energy, and just say no to wasting your time in general. When you realize that your time is a finite treasure, rejecting these distractions doesn't even feel like a sacrifice anymore. It honestly just feels like essential self-defense.
Now, when you inevitably find yourself faced with a tough choice or maybe a moment of weakness, try using this powerful mental framing. Just ask yourself, what would the absolute strongest version of me do right now? Visualize that person. And then, here's the secret, do exactly that. And don't just do it once or twice, do it every single day. Because your repetitive actions are what ultimately forge your character, and your character determines your entire destiny.
To see how this actually plays out in the real world, let's look at a quick tale of two athletes preparing for a championship. Athlete 1 trains only when they feel motivated. When the mood strikes and conditions are absolutely perfect. But athlete 2? They operate on pure discipline. They train every single day, rain or shine, good mood or bad mood. They have made the commitment entirely non-negotiable.
Fast forward a few months later, and the championship finally arrives. The results speak volumes about their different approaches. Athlete 1, who relied on fleeting motivation, is left merely hoping to win. They're basically relying on a miracle at this point. But athlete 2, the disciplined one, they are fully prepared to win. They aren't just hoping, they're ready to execute what they've built through relentless consistency and months of invisible hard work.
And this perfectly captures the core thesis of our explainer today. The gap between those two athletes wasn't physical capability. It wasn't that one was naturally vastly superior or had better luck. The defining difference between hoping for success and being prepared for success was strictly their level of discipline. It is literally the ultimate equalizer. I really want to completely reframe how you think about this word. So many people view discipline as a restriction, like it's something harsh and limiting. But true discipline is not a punishment. It's actually the key to ultimate freedom. It gives you the freedom to build exactly the life you want, the freedom to achieve your biggest dreams, and the freedom to become the precise person you were born to be.
Always remember this vital truth. The grand sum of your life is not determined by occasional massive bursts of effort. You don't build a great future by going to the gym once for 5 hours, right? Your future is built by what you do consistently. It's the small, seemingly insignificant daily actions repeated over and over again that eventually compound into massive, life-altering results.
So the crucial point is taking this knowledge and applying it right now. Your actionable takeaway from this explainer is incredibly simple, but profoundly powerful. Starting today, make just one small promise to yourself. It doesn't have to be massive, but once you make it, you must completely refuse to break it no matter what happens. This is exactly how you start rebuilding that foundation of unshakable self-trust.
We've reached the end of our blueprint, which leaves us with one deeply personal question. Will you continue to negotiate with your excuses, or will you choose discipline today to unlock your full potential tomorrow? If you're genuinely ready to build that self-trust and actively construct your future, I want you to comment, "I choose discipline" below. Make that public commitment. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and be sure to tune in next time as we take the next step and explore how to break your absolute limits.